Fishing like a local isn't just about catching fish. It's about connecting with the environment and the people who call it home. It's about hearing the stories and traditions that have been passed down for generations and sharing unforgettable moments with the people you meet along the way. Fishing like a local is having an experience that stays with you forever. And with Fishing Booker, you can experience it too, no matter where you are. Discover your next adventure on Fishing Booker.
Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. No. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
This episode is brought to you by Experian. Are you paying for subscriptions you don't use but can't find the time or energy to cancel them? Experian could cancel unwanted subscriptions for you, saving you an average of $270 per year and plenty of time. Download the Experian app. Results will vary. Not all subscriptions are eligible. Savings are not guaranteed. Paid membership with connected payment account required.
Well, welcome back to the Outdoor Drive podcast. Yet another episode. I know that we missed last week. Last week was one of those weeks, I'll tell you, getting ready for Huntstock and knowing that the scattered tornadoes was coming. We prepped for it, though. We did it. We got it. I'm glad we did it. What do you think, Steve?
We dodged a bullet, but we were ready for it.
We did dodge a bullet. It was supposed to be way worse than it actually was, and it wasn't all that bad. We actually had a great time. What do you think was the most thing that stood out for you, Stevie, as far as Huntstock went?
Saturday night campfire with them boys playing the guitar was probably my favorite.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
It was a good Huntstock. The after parties were absolutely great. It was good to see everybody network with people. Some new people there, some of the regulars over the years. Some great giveaways. Stevie won all kinds of great stuff. He came up with a pot.
Baby.
Yeah. What happens if you...
It's crazy just to see the growth of that event. I mean, this is only year 3. And, like I said this weekend when we were there, it was the first one. So not last year, the year before. There was 2 tents there. Us and one other person. And now you look at that upper lot, man, and it looks like a full-blown motorhome. It's a lot of people camping up there.
Oh, I know. It's absolutely crazy. There's a bunch of them here on Instagram. So,
cool.
What do you think, man?
What's that?
Nope, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, go right into it. I just got a almost like a little killer's corner here. I mean, aside from Pat Guyette hosting and doing a great job with Huntstock, it was nice to see Ian and Dawson and Mackenzie from Beyond the Boundaries. We got to hang out with Dialed In, Chris and Lydia, Seth Edwards, Eric from Bow Hunt Mass, Tag Soup, of course, Jake from Bow Minded. It's just, that's the best thing about show season is you get to see, the only time you see some of those people is at shows. And I think that's what I look forward to the most for shows like that. It's like, oh, we're going to see Jake. We're going to see, you're not going to see Ian.
No, there's a ton of them. I mean, even the boys that came and stopped by the booth. I mean, considering like Jeremy and Mama Podcast or Podcast Mom. Yeah, she took that name on this past weekend. There was a ton of people.
Jason Carpenter, Steven came with the venison burgers and the homemade barbecue sauce and relish, and relieved me of my grill duties for one meal, which was nice to watch somebody else run the grill.
Just to name some of the other guys. I mean, Brandon Ashford and Jake, and I mean, there was just a pile of Pat. I mean, there's just a pile of guys that stopped by and hung out with us.
Yeah.
It was definitely really cool. It was good to see
Northeast Taxidermy. It was fun to hang out with them.
Sarge, Nick and Jake.
Our new friend, Sarge.
Yeah. It was good. We made a lot of really new friends. And actually, this podcast coming out this week is from a new friend, too, from Bearded Buck, Patrick. I mean, he's been a listener for a long time. And, now to get him on the podcast and talk to him about filming and kind of his kind of outlook on it, I mean, it's been really good. So, I mean, what do you think, Stevie? Let's do the giveaway. That's why everyone's here.
I think we should do the sponsors first, just to make them wait a
Want
little
to
bit
do
longer.
sponsors? I mean, we're gonna run through the sponsors while we're doing the giveaways, but yeah, let's give it away, Stevie. Let's give away the house, man.
All right, doing this first.
Yeah, let's do the giveaway, and then we can go into what we got to go into.
So nobody knows what their number is. So should we
That's
read
okay.
that off real quick, just so they know?
Nope. So their numbers were on their tickets, so they should know their numbers, and then as they win, it'll be kind of like a little surprise for them, so that they can actually see, if they actually won or not. What do you say? I think that's the way to do
I'm
it.
here. I'm ready to spin this wheel. First thing, we're going with a win checker.
Let's do a WinCent mini from WinCent right here. Absolutely perfect.
All right. Good luck, everybody.
Give it away.
I feel like Bob Barker. 19.
Ooh, that's Brandon Ashford. I guarantee. Yeah. Well, the sad thing is you got to take his number out of there, so he's out for the saddle. So no saddle for you on that one, Brandon. All right, we got another WinCent with the dough urine in it. We got another one. Let's give that thing away.
Spin this sucker.
I should probably that's all right. We'll figure it out. All right, are you writing this down, or should I?
Number 1.
Ooh, who was lucky number 1?
It is
Gabe C.
Gabe C. Congratulations. All right, what are we doing now? The Nor'easter box call and mouth calls?
Yep, let's do that.
All right, spin that sucker. Oh, man, they're all hitting. Well, number 3.
Who's number 3?
Number 4. Mark Buzzle now. No way. His own calls?
No, spin it again. He can't win that.
Are we going to supersede that?
What do you think?
I'm gonna leave him in. I'm not gonna remove him, but I'm spinning it again. So he's in it for the Huntworth and the saddle.
And the saddle. Okay. All right. Fair enough. It's going back to 4.
Are you serious? I think my wheels broke. All right.
Unreal.
Jesus, 17. David Richard. That's some Nor'easter calls coming your way.
17. David Richard.
Move. All right. So now we're going with the Huntstock. Huntworth top and bottoms.
Top and bottoms, they're midweight, and you can pick them in Disruption or Tarnin. I'll get a hold of you, and then we'll get your sizes, and we'll get your address so we can ship it out. So did you take number 17 out of the mix? Good.
Yeah.
You got it. All right, spin it up. Huntworth, tops and bottoms, midweights. The good stuff. We're down to the good stuff, boys and ladies. Who's that? What's it doing? Number 9. Kaysen
Carpenter.
Huntworth.
Congratulations, Kaysen. Unfortunately, I got to take you out of the mix for the saddle, though.
For the saddle. So last but not least, the saddle, guys. We got the regular method number 2. This is it right here, guys.
My saddle of choice for the last 3 years. So
here it is, the saddle. The Huntworth. I mean, the Latitude saddle. I almost said Huntworth saddle.
All right. You ready?
Let's do it.
Should we do the sponsors first?
Let them wait.
Here we go for the saddle.
Let them wait. Number 8.
That's got to be Steven.
It's Steven Carpenter.
Jesus, them boys cleaned up this week too, man.
Congratulations, guys. Saddle. Well, we appreciate all of you guys that participated in the giveaway here this past weekend. It was great for all of you guys to stop by, hang out, eat some burgers, shoot the shit with us, and just have a good time. I mean, that's what those events are all about. It's just to network and hang out with good people. There was a ton of great giveaways. You guys don't sleep on it next year.
No.
It was a great...
Even bad weather, man. Like Friday was like a sketchy day. You know, and that storm rolled through Saturday afternoon, and it was still jamming. You know what? It almost I don't know if this sounds bad, but it almost has like the feel of like a county fair kind of, because you got some food trucks and like everyone's just like hanging out and shooting the shit and checking out all the vendors, but it's all hunting.
Right.
It's just there's nothing like it, man. It's awesome.
Oh, cool. On the David Richard was on here. He's on our Instagram feed right now. He said nice. So that was cool. There's a bunch of guys over here on this side. I didn't even see it. I don't check this much often, but a bunch of good people. Congratulations to all you guys. Now it's just great, man, to kick it and just see those people that, we don't get to see maybe once a year, twice a year if we do another show local. And, it's good to hang out with everybody, and it's just fun. It's just a good outing, There was times where, I look up in the booth and there's nobody in the booth, but we're all in the camping section, like,
Sure.
just.
I mean, our setup was pretty sweet. I mean, it worked well for the weather predictions, and I think we did a good job as far as having everything we needed right there. But what are you gonna do? Right?
I almost got eaten by a dog.
Oh yeah, that dog.
Did you see the video of that?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, I have to send it to you, dude. It's actually, since we're live here, maybe I can get it to pull up on my phone here. Oh yeah, here she is. All right. So me and Lydia were doing some B-roll walking down the aisle, right? Let me see if I can press this while I'm doing it. Over here. So we're walking down the aisle. And this dog.
Is that slow-mo?
Yeah. Look at that thing, dude. It was trying to eat my arm off.
That dog was a problem all weekend.
Dude, that thing was like trying to mound on me, dude. And the lady goes and says, "Oh, well, I think it was the way that you were walking." And I was like, I'm thinking to myself, what if like someone had like hip dysplasia and they're walking like that? You mean your dog is gonna chew their other leg off? Like, that's not cool, man. You know what I'm saying?
That dog went after that Brittany the day before,
charging people's deer and everything else. So
yeah, whatever.
It is what it is. Oh, dude, Steve just jumped on. The countdown begins until the New York nuisance hunt. You want to talk about that for a second?
Me? Oh, the other Steve?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Steven Carpenter.
No.
Steve.
No, Steve from New York. We've been blessed with the opportunity to go and join Forever Wild Outdoors, and we're going to go and do a nuisance hunt with them. So that's coming up pretty soon here. We'll have to punch the final dates on it.
With the rifle, right?
With the rifle. That's a rifle hunt.
There ain't nothing like rifle, baby.
So we're excited. If you guys haven't checked those guys out, go and check them out. We had them on the podcast not too long ago. I got to sit down with them. So we'll be recording with those guys, doing some live podcasts, I feel, up there in camp and just kind of kicking the deer season off right.
You going to bring the wall tent?
No. No, not bringing the wall tent. It would just be fun. So it's good to be back at home and dry, though. I'm going to say that. Like,
I'm still drying some things out, but
I feel like I was soaking wet
for 3 days straight.
Dude, my Krispies are just caked with mud, bro. Like,
well, that's a good way to break them in, though. You know that, right? It is.
Yeah, with horse shit.
Yeah. Get them wet and wear them till they're dry.
Oh, well, it wasn't that bad.
No, it was good. I mean, honestly, the weather was good all weekend. We had that one, what was it, like 4:30 Friday night. Mm-hmm. It got a little sketchy, and then Friday night, and then the rest of the weekend was beautiful.
Right.
So,
well, man,
a lot of good food.
Oh, dude, I swear to God, like, I Sunday morning I woke up, dude, and all he was like, Stevie with the spatulas, bro. He was like a hibachi chef. Ding, 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 ding. I'm like, bro, it's 7:30 in the morning. Like, 6, you said?
Chris and Lydia have the best story, though, from Friday night. They were leaving, and, like, all hell was breaking loose, and, like, everybody was, like, in panic mode, tying their tents down and batting down the hatches for the storm that was coming in that night. And I'm just over there grilling away, like, zero fucks given. Like, I don't care. But we were already tied down. Like, we had every rope and stake we owned like at that point, like what are we gonna do?
Right.
It is what it is. Either it's gonna, either we're filming Twisters 3 tonight or not. But either way, we're gonna have our bellies full of some good food.
Oh, we ate so good, and it was fun. I had such a blast with everybody, and I mean, it's just we were full the whole entire time. We got into camp the first night. Everybody was at the film festival, and we were just staking down, getting ready, because we knew it was going to be a long, hard weekend, whether the storm hit us or it didn't. But we had fun. We got to hang out with a lot of people. We didn't do as much work as we wanted to or thought we were going to, but we were able to record a really good podcast with Patrick from Bearded Buck. So that's what's coming on here next. You guys will have to tune into all social media platforms to watch that. We are going to cut loose out of here. Unless Stevie's got something else, man. No. You got anything big plans? Any good stuff showing up on camera yet, or?
Honestly, it's been a little slow lately. I just had a bearded hen on camera right before we hit record though, so it's like kind of funny because it's like fall and I'm thinking about deer, and then I see pictures of turkeys. I'm like, ooh, turkeys.
Bro, speaking of, I called you about it, but I don't think that I told everybody about this. This was actually pretty cool. So I was in a residential neighborhood working in my hometown, and I had just left the job. It's getting to that point where the birds are ready to fly up. And I pull up on this neighborhood, and I see two hens walking across the road. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, man. One of them had a beard, so I'm like, oh, I think it's a Jake. So I start to pull up on them, and they're all hens with poults. There probably have been, 35 of these things. And I start filming, and I'm watching them, and the first one goes by, beard. Second hen, beard. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 poults go by. Another hen, beard. Another hen, beard. I'm like, are you kidding me? There was probably 4 or 5 bearded hens in this one giant flock of hens and poults. And I couldn't believe it. From small little beards to long beards, 6, 7, 8 inches. And it was every single one of them. They say it's 1 in 10,000 when I was doing research after I had shot mine, but I don't think that's true.
Maybe back then, but yeah. I think they've exploded.
It's crazy, and I don't, and one of the things that I've...
In America, Build Back Better.
It's 2024.
Everywhere now.
It's 2024. You can identify as anything. You know what it is? It's the Toms and Jakes identifying as hens so that they can't be shot, or trying to anyways. It was crazy to see, and especially,
it's like a 2-year-old button doe. Yeah.
2.5-year-old button doe.
2.5-year-old button doe.
It's kind of funny because, like, they are super, super, like, aggressive, right? Like bearded hens are super aggressive. So I start, and start kiki running at it. This thing, like, goes full strut in this lady's backyard, dude, and starts. I'm like, all right, cool. It was cool to see. Just different, but cool to see. So, but it's not deer season, but I'm still thinking about turkeys.
It's close, dude.
I know.
Close.
It is.
Like a month away. We got 4 weeks. Oh, you know what? I didn't even think to mention that too. We got the new saddles in, the new Mavericks.
Yeah.
Thoroughly impressed. Like, I'm freaking psyched to jump in that thing. I've been playing with it a little bit. I'm actually, as soon as we get done recording, I got some stuff from Amazon, some what would you call it, shot cord, and some little plastic carabiners and stuff like that. I'm gonna get it all rigged up and get that thing hunt ready and just start dialing in my system,
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I totally agree. It was I'm thoroughly impressed with the saddle. We had it out hanging out at Huntstock with us to kind of show everybody. We had a ton of people sit in it. I think 2 people or 3 people bought it while they were at Huntstock. So for you guys that want to buy the new Maverick, you can head on over to latitudeoutdoors.com and you can use the promo code Outdoor Drive on that one. Save yourself some. I think it's like $169,
which is insane.
For just a saddle, right?
Yeah, but if you're already in a saddle, like if you already have sticks and a platform and a saddle with ropes and all that stuff, and you have everything,
you want to upgrade.
Like that's a steal, dude.
Super steal.
Brand new, just hit hot off the press saddle for $169.
That's a smoking deal. So
it's comfortable too, man.
I couldn't believe how comfortable it was, like, out of the package. I'm excited to, like, compare it against the Lone Star when that comes out. Like, I cannot wait. Like, that's to put the two of them side to side. I would put the Maverick up against any saddle right now, as it is. Like, it's definitely super super comfortable.
At first impression, it almost like, because I've been running the Method 2, right?
Right.
You're the classic. It almost covers like top of the where I put the top panel on my Method 2.
Mhm.
So top of the top panel to bottom of the bottom panel, it covers the same area, but you don't have that gap between the panels.
Right.
So I'm covering the same space and it's supporting the same areas, but I don't have that gap where my ass is like between two panels. It just cradles everything. Like I'm super pumped, man.
Well,
Like I had no complaints before, but I think life just got that much better in this thing.
so the thing you have to remember too about the Maverick over all saddles, it is the lightest saddle on the market right now. It's coming in at 21 ounces. There's not one on the market. The 4-inch webbing that's on the bottom, that's number one in its kind. There is no other saddle on the market that holds to having such a thing. And with that, you can fold it up, and you're still streamlined like the Method is. So you're talking just a waistband as you're going in. I mean, the lightest piece of equipment, and it's super comfortable. And I mean, there's really nothing like it on the market. Seriously.
I did the math the other day. I don't remember the number, but it was basically like my saddle, my Rebel platform, and my Carbon SS sticks total was like 10 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
That people are rocking tree stands that are more than 10 pounds, let alone the sticks in your harness and all that other stuff.
It's so true. It's so
like
true.
that's from the ground to hunt height, hunt ready in 10 pounds.
Well, think about all the guys that are out there with trying to film and all the other things that go along with it. I mean, you're talking. I mean, that's a serious piece of equipment. So speaking of filming, let's get Patrick on the line, dude. Let's go and do this. We're gonna go off live. We're gonna get Patrick on, and then you guys can catch us all back on all social media platforms.
He's waiting in the green room.
He is. He's been waiting in the green room for a week. So, well, go and check out the podcast, and we appreciate all you. And congratulations to you guys that have all won the giveaway.
Bye, everybody.
Outdoor Drive Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here in is it 2024? What's this, the third year of Huntstock?
Yep.
I'm not even good at this. I probably should.
We know.
Well, we're here. We're here in Huntstock, and we're kind of hanging out in the booth. It's day 3. We smell a little funky. Do you smell a little funky?
A little bit, yeah.
I guess that's par for the course.
I feel like it's needed, this type of event. Like, you want to smell by the end of it to show that you really were a part of it. Yeah.
It's like cover scent.
we are living in the buck swamp back here. This is
you guys got the worst spot in all of Huntstock.
On a nice day, it's actually this is the best spot, but for some reason in this rain, it's just been one of those things where you're just like, oh man.
If I would have known better, I would have brought the kayak
to get across public.
Access to the booth.
I'll tell you, this is Stevie had said not too long ago that we were gonna have cattails by the end of the weekend because it's just like one of those spots where it's just loaded down. So,
what's the most valuable thing in the world? Being able to fish with your family and friends. Exactly. And what's the second most valuable thing? Time. Managing and worrying about body odor used to take up a lot of my time. I was paranoid about smelling. Especially around midday. It was all extremely time-consuming. But not anymore. Since I switched to Mando whole body deodorant, I've freed up so much time. I've been able to teach my son and his friends how to fish, and I've even mastered some new fly fishing techniques. Yeah, it's that effective and long-lasting. Here's why. Mando doesn't cover up odor after the fact with heavy fragrances like certain other deodorants. It stops odor at the source by blocking the bacteria on your skin from eating your sweat, which is the actual cause of BO. What does this mean? It means Mando is clinically proven to control odor for up to 72 hours. That's a long time. So give yourself the precious gift of time and get yourself some Mando whole body deodorant. New customers get $5 off Mando's best-selling starter pack with code WAYPOINT at shopmando.com. What I like most about Mando is that it's American-made. Mando whole body deodorant is powerful enough for the toughest body odor, but gentle enough to use everywhere without any worry because Mando is aluminum-free and baking soda-free. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. Luckily, I have a discount code to help you get hooked on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code WAYPOINT at shopmando.com. shopmando.com.
When it comes to towing, seeing is believing. That's why Chevy Truck's advanced camera technology offers up to 8 available cameras for 14 unique views, so you can focus on the view that really matters. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Learn more about Chevy Trucks at Chevy.com. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the vehicle owner's manual for important feature limitations and information.
Well, no further ado, man. We're here with our buddy Patrick from the Bearded Buck. How are you, man?
Good, man, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, dude. I mean, it was tough enough to get you on because we just, you know how the shows go. You sit in the booth, you talk to people. Stevie's back there. I think Steve, did you get off the grill once yesterday at all? Like, just made food out of food?
Just slinging it in the middle of a hurricane, just running that grill.
I heard he didn't actually go to bed last night. He just went straight from the fire to the grill, started cooking breakfast for everyone.
That's what it felt like, honestly. Like, I'm laying in bed, hungover, and I just hear clink, clank, clank. I'm like, Stevie, you're going to wear the patina off that thing, dude. Just making food left, right, and center for everybody. It's just one of those things. Well, Patrick, why don't you tell a little bit who you are, where you're from, and a little bit about what you do.
Yeah. So my name is Patrick Ashcroft. I'm a producer in the outdoor industry for the Bearded Buck. We are a show based in central Pennsylvania. We're on the Sportsman's Channel. We've been on TV for 8 years now. Been in production for almost 10. And I've been with them for about a year and a half now. But I personally have been in the outdoor industry doing production work for almost 4 years now.
So how did it all start for you, man? Like that's we were talking in the green room here that before
the swamp's the green room.
Talking on the tailgate out back.
So in what we were talking was that it's a pretty big thing to bite off and chew.
Yeah.
When it comes into it.
Yeah, so I always enjoyed having a camera in my hand almost as much as having a bow or a gun. And I started taking pictures when I was about 18 and just kind of kept doing it, but it wasn't something that I necessarily thought that I was going to pursue as a career. And then just like a lot of people, when 2020 hit and my job disappeared, I was like, well, I guess we're going to go find something to do that I enjoy doing. Mm-hmm. And so really started picking up the camera more and pursuing jobs and freelance work with it. And honestly, that fall, it kind of just took off and haven't had to look back since.
It's kind of crazy because especially starting in 2020 where I had said for a long time, like, you could literally go and do anything that you wanted to at that point. It was literally a snap of a finger of a reset. And it sounds like you kind of took it into full force and kind of went with it.
Yeah, that was exactly it. I definitely wanted a change and wanted something new, really wanted to get into the outdoor industry because I grew up loving being in the outdoors, hunting, right, fishing, anything that I could. But and in my previous life before this, I actually coached high school football, which makes it really difficult to hunt. Your falls are pretty packed. So I felt like I sacrificed a lot of time to pursue that passion, which I loved doing at the time. But I was ready to move on to something else and really pursue this.
Are you still strongly involved with the football?
I still help out. I get calls all the time to come back to coaching full time. I still help out a lot of friends who are in it. Whenever I can, I'll help run like spring and summer camps and stuff like that. But I've definitely stepped way back when it comes to
what position did you play? You played ball for a while?
I did.
yourself?
I played college ball as an offensive lineman. Got hurt and started coaching immediately after that. And coached high school football for almost 10 years.
Wow, that's crazy. What position did you play?
Center.
You were a center?
Yeah.
I was a center also. I was. Stevie was a quarterback, actually. Yep. I was a center. And you know what the thing is with being on a center, right? You have to deal with the biggest guy on the field every single time.
Yep. All the time.
And snap the ball.
Snap the ball. It was somebody touching your ass.
Yeah. They get someone get up in there.
I was that somebody.
Yeah. Some quarterbacks are a little weirder than others. You're like, why did you need 2 fingers there? I don't get that.
Why did you slap my ass before?
That's how you know what the count is.
Tuesday.
You know what though? That exchange, it's so overlooked as an observer of football. Like, there's a chance for a fumble on every snap of the ball.
Yeah.
And you don't notice it because the pros never, college ball, it never happens. But, like, there's a chance for a catastrophic failure on every play.
Right.
And people don't realize how much, work goes into getting that right every time perfect.
Right. That's the thing. I mean, it's overlooked. It goes well 99% of the plays.
Mm-hmm.
But that one play it doesn't changes everything.
Yeah.
You could change the whole football game in
Yeah,
about
and like you guys have to snap the ball, get that exchange right before you can even fire off to block your lineman. Your defensive lineman. But at the same sense as a quarterback, I need to get that ball and I need to get out of the way because I'm going to get ran over by my pulling guard because he's coming right off my ass. You know what I mean? So it's like it happens fast, but yeah.
And it's always the 3 biggest guys in the football field are right in front of you, left, right, and center, dude. It's on instantaneously. But I bet you, did any of it translate into the outdoor world when you like being a big time football athlete and stuff? Did it kind of give you those kind of life lessons, pushes to?
Well, I think the biggest thing that I've always taken from it, and not just in hunting but outside of it, is learning to deal with pressure. In a high-pressure situation. I mean, when you're hunting, you get one moment to really make it count. And in athletics, and especially football, a lot of things come down to one play. And if you lose your composure that one play, you may not get another one to figure it out.
Game of inches.
Yeah. And I really feel hunting and things in the outdoors are very similar. You get that one moment, you get that deer to come by one time, you have to make that count. Because if you don't, you really might not get another shot.
You made a very valid point there. I never really thought of it when you play a team sport like that. Like, you are in the highest of highs for pressure, and it then transpires into hunting. You have to make it count. You have to keep your composure and still connect to be able to succeed.
Right.
I'd never really thought it. I mean, Steve, have you thought of
No, not really.
No.
Not until now.
No, I just saw the smoke coming out. He's like, yeah, no, that makes 100%.
I was thinking about the game of inches, like the famous Al Pacino speech in Any Given Sunday. You claw with your fingernails for that inch.
It's so true, though.
Because you know that he's gonna fight too. Great movie.
It's a great movie. Oh, so tell us a little bit about what you do with the Bearded Buck.
So I am a full-time camera guy and producer. So during our hunting seasons, turkey and deer, I'm filming pretty much every day that we're out in the woods. And then during our off seasons, during the winter and during the summer, it's a full-time editing schedule for our episodes. And then also we produce a lot of work for our partners. So we're always doing commercials and ads and things like that for them.
So it probably takes a lot away from your hunting season in itself, though.
It does. I tell anyone who thinks that I just have the absolute dream job, which I do. I love what I do. Wouldn't change it for the world, but it's not for the reason that I get to hunt all the time and do these things, because I really don't. I get to be in the woods. I get to see it. I get to be a part of a lot of it, but I'm filming, know, every day that it's possible. Now, I primarily film one of our hosts, Austin, and if he fills all of his tags, then I get a little more time to go hunt. But like this past season for his tag in Pennsylvania, he didn't fill it till our rifle season, which is in the beginning of December. So we hunted for 2 full months, and I got to hunt 3 days.
Wow. That's frustrating. You're up to bat for him, though. You're like, dude, shoot something now. Like,
like hurry up. That 3-year-old's fine. Take that one.
Yeah, shooter.
Every doe
ground shrinkage, man. I'm up.
Man, look at that Pennsylvania 11-pointer right there. That'd look great on the wall.
He's like,
nice job. I got full footage of it, dude. Just let it rip. Yeah, it's in frame. What do you mean it's in frame? The thing's only got 2 points.
It's fine. Well, editing.
I think he's
editing.
He's a little bigger than he looks.
I know a good taxidermist. He'll put a full rack on that thing for you. Don't worry. Just punch it through. Punch it through, man. Yeah, I could. There's got to be. It's got to be a tough thing though when you're working together. With and being a filmer, there's a type of communication that you have to establish when you're in the tree. I mean, you're spending a long time with them, and not even that, but I think about this all the time when you hunt in pairs is say me and Stevie are filming, one's filming one or the other. He hunts a different style than I hunt, so there's like a cross to be where like there's probably some rough edges.
Yeah, I mean. Definitely. First thing, you have to have a lot of trust in that person, because if you don't feel like you're on the same page, you guys know if you go into a hunt with a negative mindset, that hunt's not going to go well. Something's going to go wrong.
Right.
And a lot of that comes down to how you think about it. And if you're with another person that you don't trust, you don't think that they're going to do all the things that you need them to do to make your hunt successful, it can put a lot of pressure on it. And that's one thing that we work a lot to establish that with our hunters, is to make sure we're comfortable. We're constantly talking before the hunt. Hey, what if this happens? What if this happens? How can we make sure that we're on the same page? What are we going to use to make sure that I'm in frame and have them ready to go and you're ready to shoot? And then, once you're in that situation, you hope that you've established enough connection and communication that both of you are on the same page for when that moment of truth comes, because you get it, you have to try to get it on film, make sure it looks good, and that he makes a good shot in a very short amount of time. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But
do you have any of those crazy moments that like something didn't happen because you didn't have it in frame? Or
so I'll tell you guys a story, and this is actually coming out this year. Austin got to shoot a once-of-a-lifetime buck last year on our Illinois farm. It was a 195-plus inch typical whitetail, and we had hunted hard for this deer, multiple trips out looking for him. We finally find him their first gun season. We knew where he was. Of course, we go in for an all-day sit in November, and there's just nothing going on. We haven't seen a deer. We haven't seen a squirrel. It's just... you just feel like it's a day where nothing's going to work right for you. And unfortunately with cameras, batteries die. And they normally last about 4 or 5 hours, depending upon what you're doing. And about 10 o'clock came, and my battery was dying, and Austin was playing on his phone. And so I start changing this battery. So camera's off, nothing's on, nothing's ready. And all I hear him say is, Patrick, the lake buck is right there, and this giant deer is about 25 yards from us. Camera doesn't even have a battery in it. He's sitting down on his phone with his gun over his shoulder, and this deer's on a doe. So whatever this doe does, it's taking that deer with it. And so we may never see this deer again. And of course, within 5 seconds, this doe's taking the deer back over a ridge. We can't see him, but at least it gives us time to get ready. The deer comes back up over. I can't see him. He can see him, but where I'm at in the tree, I can't see this deer. He's like, it's right behind the doe. Like, I can see the doe. I don't see this buck. I said, Austin, I'm going to stay wide, shoot that deer. He shoots it. He goes, "Did you get it?" We're gonna check. Luckily, we go back. We check the footage. I did get it. But in talking to him, he shot through about a window that was 2 foot by 2 foot. He barely could see where that deer was. So for me to be positioned around the tree and be able to get him, very small window. But we we did get it on film. Didn't miss it completely, but that was there was a lot of panic in a very short amount of time on that hunt.
So with something like that, is it a post fix, like trying to get that? Just, it's not the ideal 100% what you wanted, right? Like it's not zoomed in the best. So then in post, you just go back and kind of try and cut it all in since you shot wide.
Yeah. So that's the way to get the most out of it. Luckily, we had a lot of secondary angles rolling.
Right.
So we have 3 other cameras going at the time. So there's a lot of footage to use to build the anticipation of what's about to happen. And you can feel it in the footage that there was panic in both of us, because this is probably the one time we're going to get to see this deer on the hoof. We're either going to get him or never see him again. And so you can feel the tension in that footage, and then you go and luckily you can take that kill shot into about a 3-second piece, and you go and you really zoom in on it, and you can get enough of usable footage to make it look good.
Is there ever a moment when you're trying to do the filming and like a buck like that, right? Say that you didn't have it on film, would you just shoot it? Because like for us self-filming, right? You're just like, it is what it is, right? Because we're not trying to film for a sportsman channel. But a 195, dude, you're pulling the trigger. I don't care. The camera's in the way. I'll throw it at it if I have to. I don't care, right? I mean.
So we had that conversation actually beforehand, and in our home farm of PA, we're calling our hunters off. If we can't get the shot on film, it's not worth it for us, because we need to produce content, unfortunately. But most of the deer there, we know we're going to probably have an opportunity at. We're not putting a lot of pressure on them.
Or you have another year to go back.
Right, or we have another year to go chase them. A deer like that out there, the talk was, filming comes 1A. Killing that deer is number 1. We want to get it on film, but if the opportunity comes, we're killing that deer.
You're going to make content with pictures and videos, posts.
And he did. He photographed well, so it was fine.
Yeah. It's got to be one of those moments, and it has to be talked about before. I feel like you cannot, in the moment, me and Steve can't be in the tree like, yo, bro, just, you know what I'm saying?
Just shoot him. It doesn't matter. Just let it go.
No, because, I mean, to us, it's getting shot.
Yeah.
It's getting shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, the video would be great, but I think that there's a lot that comes behind it. But you being a video production company, you have to have the video.
Yeah.
Where us, if we kill a deer, we can talk about it on a podcast.
Right.
We can take pictures. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
If we didn't get the video, well, you know what? We chalk it up as a loss. You can't do that.
No, unfortunately not. No, our partners would not be happy with us if we did that.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's nuts. So he shot this deer, and it's.
Yep. And we watched it fall within 50 yards of the shot, and then the celebration was on after that.
Wow, that's incredible. Did you how did you know about the buck?
So, it was a crazy story. The year before, our other host Jerry and camera guy Austin were out there hunting a different deer. They had no idea this deer existed, and in the middle of the farm is a big lake, and this buck had pushed a doe down to the lake to breed her, trapped her on this peninsula, and that we have about 40 minutes of footage of him fighting off other bucks. I mean, chasing this doe around, just some of the coolest deer footage you'll ever see. And you could just tell, you would see him next to another buck, and you would be like, he looks like a different animal. He's massive. He's pushing 280, 300 pounds, and at that point, he was probably in the high 180s as a deer.
Right.
I mean, still just a giant. But last year there were other deer, or 2 years ago. Sorry, I forget. We're in summer already. We're about to hit another season. 2 years ago, there was a lot of other deer on the farm that were worth chasing as well. So there wasn't a lot of effort to find this deer because it was the first time they had seen him. After that point, he did show up a few times on Shero camera, and it kind of looked like that was just a rut spot for him. Fast forward to that off season, we actually found both of his sheds on the property, and so we thought, oh man, there's an opportunity. He might be here more than we thought. So going into the 2023 season, the game plan was all just to find this deer, see where he was, and see how he was moving through the property. But we didn't really get much of him until about mid-October, and then from mid-October on, he was pretty regular. And where we actually ended up killing him at, he was about 100 yards from that same peninsula that he had pushed the doe down to a year before, and we were pretty sure that's what he was doing with the doe he had now. He was just pushing her down to that spot because there's nowhere else for her to go there. Yeah,
That's wild. And I bet you.
What was the time frame, like, to the day from the footage the year before?
So the footage the year before would have been the first week of November 3rd, 4th, in there. And we had him on camera on the property at that time, but we didn't kill him until the 17th.
Wow.
Yeah, the first weekend of the gun season.
Wow. I bet you it's one of those things in like you working with, being the filmer and then being with the hunter, that it's probably like a really cool thing, like that buck or chasing certain deer, that you guys can talk with each other and kind of be like, get game plans together. Because sometimes when you're hunting, traveling, going places, hunting, whatever the case may be, it's kind of you against the world. But when you are working with somebody, I mean, we call each other and ask questions and, hey man, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? But like being right there and seeing it, I bet you it's a team effort at that point.
It really is, and then getting to enjoy that celebration after, because as a camera guy, once you're done and you hit that point, you feel like you harvested that deer as well. You put in that work, you put the time in stand. You guys are constantly having conversation. I mean, we had started entering into this stand from one direction and realized, man, our wind is terrible, but we need to be here. So we were taking a boat across the lake at 4 o'clock in the morning with a trolling motor just to get into this spot, because we knew it was the only way to really do this and make it work. And then so after we got the deer, we put them back on the boat to get footage of this deer going across the lake in it, just because of how we had to go in to get them.
To make the whole story.
Yep.
That's wild. That's super cool, though.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, like, and especially, I'm imagining it right now, a 195 in a canoe, like,
It's awesome.
I hope someday I get to see what that actually looks like. I couldn't even imagine, to be honest. Is that the biggest deer that's been killed by the team?
It is.
Yeah. So that's a huge.
Yeah. I mean, most of our hunting's done in PA, and PA has great deer. But the genetics needed for a deer like that doesn't happen in many places.
Right. That's nuts. So one of the things, and you're here, and we'll snap into that, is you're here with Chris and Lydia from Dialed In.
Yeah.
And you want to kind of go into that and what the reason being and how that all transpired and with you guys working together?
Yeah. So we're here with Dialed In with Chris and Lydia, and we had talked to them. They actually knew our host Jerry for a few years now, and they've talked back and forth a few times about different things. But this spring, we were really looking to bring on some team members to help create digital content for us, right? We really wanted to expand our YouTube channel and do some different things to really hit a different type of hunter. Because we hunt a certain style on the show, but we recognize that a lot of people hunt differently in different parts of the country, and we want to be a channel that you can really go and get all of your hunting fix in one way, shape, or form, whether it's some Western hunting, some Midwest whitetail, some Northeast whitetail, whatever you're looking for, a ton of turkeys, whatever you want to find. We wanted to be that kind of channel. And so we went out looking for some new team members and people we thought that would be a good fit and vibe well with us and what we're doing. And I reached out to Chris and Lydia, and we had a few conversations back and forth. And things just worked out better than we could even hope for. We just found that we were very similar in how we thought about content and what we wanted to do and where we hoped the channel would go. And they were in the process of really trying to build their dialed-in brand. And so we said, well, let us help you, and you can help us by creating content, and we can really see where we can take this. And so through the spring and through the beginning of summer here, we've been working on a lot of different stuff, a lot of different partner stuff, and getting them to grow as much as we possibly can. And Chris asked me if we wanted to come be a part of Huntstock with them and be a part of their booth, and I was like, yeah, of course. However we can support you guys and help us grow as well, like we are 100% for. And now here we are, day 3, smelling terrible, ready to make the long drive back home. And
we're in a horse.
Feet have been wet for 3 days.
It's like a bad hunt, right, Stevie? It's funny. Steve had said before we were talking about it, and we were like, oh, it says, on the radar it said scattered tornadoes, dude. I've never in my life ever seen that on the weather.
Tornadoes.
That's literally what it was saying, right? And I'm like, Steve, you sure you want to do this? He's like, you can stay home if you want. I'm going. And I was like, really? And I was like, all right, I guess if you're going, I'm going. Like that team thing, right? Fuck, if he's going, I'm going. So we get up here, and he's like, dude, you know what? This will be worse than anything that we ever do, right? And he's so fucking right. Like, this is worse than any hunt that we'll go on, because we wouldn't go on the hunt if it was like that. And it will condition you to then be good in that craft, right? Because you've gone through it. So we're actually hunting. It's like hunting training as we go. There's nothing wrong with it. Because when you show up to a piece of viewer in Illinois and you're trying to hunt this buck, if it's crappy out, it is what it is.
Still got to go.
You still got to go, and it's the same here. You still got to go and got to do it.
Yeah, although I don't know if a hunt was calling for scattered tornadoes, I'm probably staying inside. I'll watch the trail cameras, see what shows up.
And go back on it the next day. And the other thing is, Steve brought up a good point yesterday too. He's like, if I was in the swamp like this, I'd just move my truck somewhere so it's a little, so you know what to deal with, right, Steve? I mean, it's a good thing. Why don't you talk a little bit about the giveaway, because they're doing a pretty cool giveaway over there.
Yeah, we are doing a huge giveaway. The biggest part of it is an African safari hunt, 7 days, 6 nights, all inclusive. Comes with lodging, all your food and drink, and everything like that. And then it comes with 3 animals. You get a wildebeest, blessed buck, and a spring buck that come with it. And if you're there, you can add more animals as you wish, but those do come with another cost. And then our partners jumped in and gave us a great prize pack, and we can't be thankful enough. Badlands and Vortex gave us binos and packs and bino harness and things like that. The stuff outside of the hunt is valued at almost $2,000, and the hunt itself is valued at $5,500. So you can win almost $7,000 worth of stuff just for signing up.
How do you get into it? How do you register? How do you know that you can get into it? And
yeah, so to get into it's easy. All you got to do is follow Dialed In on Instagram, follow the Bearded Buck, and like the pinned post, which is the giveaway post. So if you watch the reel, you can hear more information about it. But yeah, that's all you have to do. You do those 3 things, and you are entered in to win.
I'm in. I entered.
Did you already enter?
Yeah.
You can enter it?
I was already entered and didn't know I was entered.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess that's because I think the same. I just got to make sure I like and share the pinned post.
Yeah.
What if you win, Steve?
You gonna go to Africa?
Yeah, I got to check the weather before I go.
If you scatter tornadoes, you might not want to make the journey.
Across the pond, I don't know. Like, that'd be kind of scary. Could you imagine being in another country and having something like that happen?
No. I would never go out of the country again if that happened.
I remember the first time I ever had been part of a tornado. I was at the Iowa Deer Classic, and we're sitting there, and the alert comes across your phone: tornado, tornado, take shelter. Right? We're in like a skyscraper, big coliseum, this, that, and the other thing. And I'm with a bunch of the Midwest boys, and I'm like, so what do you guys do? They're like, stay away from the windows and grab a beer. And I was like, I guess that's pretty simple, but why grab the beer? And he says, well, at least if you die, you're drinking a beer. And I said, well, I guess that sounds about right. I guess the Midwest boys aren't that smart,
Yeah, they have big deer there, though.
That's what makes them dumb.
That explains a lot from Friday night, because you learned from that and brought that tactic to Huntstock.
What's that?
Grab a beer. There's tornadoes in the area.
I've been using it my whole life, Steve.
We just don't have windows here.
Yeah.
There's no windows. Just grab a beer.
If I can't remember the tornado's happening, it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen, right? They say scattered rain showers, and I grab a beer. It doesn't matter if it's a tornado or not, right? That's the way it's supposed to be. It seems like a pretty good turnout. There's a lot of stuff going on now, huh?
Yeah.
So what do you think about the whole Huntstock thing? Because have you been to New England, northern New England, and
I haven't. This is really my first time. Well, I've been here on a vacation, but as far as something like this,
you come here to vacation?
I did one time. Did a whole northeast run, Massachusetts, Maine, all of it. I'm not saying it was great, but we did it.
What did you come up here for? The lighthouses, the Leafs? What was
lighthouses? It was during the summer.
Nice.
Just did up the coast and.
That's cool.
Back through.
I'm a big lighthouse fan.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was fun. Took some pictures. Yeah.
I like to look at them, but I wouldn't go out of my way to go find them.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't. I'll put it this way: it wasn't my choice. But sometimes you got to deal what you got to do.
I agree. I'm not saying I'm not down talking it. I don't want to get you in trouble or nothing. But no. So when you came here, because a lot of these guys are trackers. That's not a style. I mean, it's not a style for us neither. But
no, and it was something really cool. So that's being from Pennsylvania. We're kind of in the middle. We're not the Midwest. We're not really considered the Northeast. We're kind of that no man's land.
Middle Eastern.
Yeah, we call that Middle Eastern.
Yeah, that's where we're kind of in no man's land there. But we feel like we can relate more to the Northeast than as far as hunting than the Midwest. And so we were excited to come to a show that was Northeast based and meet a lot of people that do hunt very differently, because we don't get enough snow to track. That's not really something that happens down there, but you see it, you hear about it enough. It's awesome to watch. I mean, that's producing content. I have a hard time ingesting a lot of it because it just is too much, but when I do, I love watching tracking and things like that, because it is very different. It's exciting. And so getting to talk to a lot of these people from the Midwest that hunt from the Northeast that hunt like that has been really cool. And this event that they put on with Huntstock is amazing. Being a summer show and getting to see all these people out who are getting ready for season, and everyone's fired up. Everyone's showing trail cam pictures or talking about their hunt last year. It's just a great environment. People are in a good mood. They feel that fall's coming, and everyone's excited.
I think one of the things here is the vibe, the whole vibe. And is being here, camping here, staying here. We were going to do the Airbnb thing, but to be honest with you, when you're here, it's a full-fledged thing. We sat around the fire last night. They played guitars. We didn't. I tried getting Stevie to play a guitar, but
do you play guitar?
Absolutely not.
No?
I told him I'd hold it and you'd take a picture of me. But
tried. A for effort. That's what we're all about here, right?
But we were talking about it last night. This is the third year, which wasn't that long ago. The first year, there was only 2 people that camped out overnight, and it was over the hill over here. And now on year 3, I mean, that whole upper lot is just full of campers.
RVs here, everything. I mean, a ton of people. Yeah. We think next year if we come back, which we're really hoping to, we're going to camp here. Because we did the Airbnb thing, which was nice, especially with all the storms that came through.
Yeah, I heard you had like a tornado shelter in the basement or something like that, too. It's a supply of water and all that stuff. That's my favorite thing about this show, because we do a ton of shows, right? And it's show, it's hotel, it's Uber into dinner, if you hit some bars at night, then back to the hotel, back to the show. We pulled in here Thursday night, and we have not left the farm since Thursday. You're in it to win it,
the camaraderie around here, the farm itself, Wildwood Farm, the people from the farm themselves are just, they're by far none. We pulled up and they said, make yourselves at home.
Yeah.
You know, it's every year. Come down, gave us T-shirts. They, you know, they're just, it's a great environment. And you yourself, you've been to a ton of shows, you know, with Bearded Buck, and they would be at Harrisburg. There's not a vibe like this.
No.
And to bring the hunting industry in itself, you've been in it for a long time, the people, the camaraderie, whether you're from Trophy Line or you're from Buzzard Roost or they all merge together in one great place, having a beer and eating some food. I mean, Buzzard Roost last night, he made a jambalaya for the whole entire place. Literally was up there half the day.
You don't eat it.
Huh?
You don't even eat it.
No, he don't, right? Because he got the Lone Star ticket.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't know they had it in Louisiana.
Well, isn't it? Where's it from?
I don't know.
Oh, isn't Lone Star, Texas?
Yeah.
Louisiana, Texas.
Oh, well,
They're
geographically, I got it all kind of mixed up. We don't have it here is what I meant.
Right.
I don't know what I was thinking. But anyways.
Me neither.
That's normal. That's normal. But anyways, he doesn't eat it. But they all, combine together to work, to have fun, to smile, to, it's a different vibe. It really is a different vibe. And I think the outdoor industry needs more like this.
Yeah.
They do a good thing.
I mean, for being a show that, does have stuff that you can buy, but it's not a pushy, salesy show. It's just people talking about hunting and enjoying their time together, getting to hear a lot of great seminars from a lot of crazy good Northeast hunters, and it's just an amazing experience.
It's nuts because, like yourself, you get to go to the Midwest and you see all these big deer hunters, and it is pushed, right? It's pushed on television. It's pushed all over social media. One of the things here, it's quiet, is New England, the Northeast, the buck killers that are here, because there's some deer that are on some of these walls and some of these booths that will hold candles to some of these Midwest bucks.
Yeah.
And these guys are all closet guys. They don't post. They don't talk about it. It's not heard of. I mean, there's, just in all, just hunt clubs in there, right? Every single deer on their wall this year is from New Hampshire. And they're all studs, all north of 140, I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's here. It's here. And people don't talk about it. And there's some true killers. You walk by and you're like, oh, my God. That's Rick Labby. You see his picture? Are you kidding? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a ton of them. There's a pile of them right here in New England. It's just crazy to me. It's just, and it's the best kept secret.
Yeah.
It's the best kept secret.
Did you see that 8-pointer in there yet?
Which one?
From Maine?
177 clean 8.
No way.
Yeah, you got to see it before you leave. Clean 8, all mass. It's got everything. Length, mass. Jeez. I mean, you know as well as anybody. A 148 is a giant. 150 is like
almost unheard of.
Very uncommon. 177 clean 8.
That's a deer of a lifetime.
Right here. It's from Maine.
So all you guys listening, you hear that. The Northeast is where you need to come. All these tags are
I
over the counter.
From PA.
yeah. We dropped them off with a helicopter.
Oh, my gosh. Well, Patrick, I got one last question before we cut this one loose, man. We appreciate you jumping on, first off.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
I know it's been cool. I don't think it'll be the last time. Love to have some more guys from the Bearded Buck on. But we want to know what drives you outdoors.
Man, what drives me outdoors? I listen to you
listen
guys
to
all the time.
podcasts,
Yeah,
so
I
you
listen
know
to you guys all the time. I knew this question
You
was
listen to the
coming.
podcast and you still agreed to come on?
Yeah, well, why do you think it took me to day 3?
Contemplating life.
It's like, if I just don't show up today, they can't ask me to do it again.
But for him, it's just he's heard us talk 1,000,001 times, so it was probably easy for him. He's like, yeah, these idiots, I could get in on this, right? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Patrick. But so what drives you?
So what drives me outdoors?
You want to know?
Yeah, I feel like
the vault.
Man, he's just
dropping
dropping stuff
off
off.
Vault.
Drinks
Unlock
here.
your
Couldn't be more
brain.
We'll
excited.
give you a shameless plug here.
Yeah.
We're recording live right now. Volt, unlock your brain. Trev, can you have 2?
Yeah, he's probably going to need
He gave me 4, actually. So don't worry. There's yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
If I start drooling on myself, you'll know why. All right.
The 10 will be down.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
The 10 almost came down Friday night, was it?
I was blew away over here.
Steve was still
I was in the back
there.
cooking. I don't even know.
In the green room.
That's pretty good.
But what drives me outdoors, I think one of the biggest things that drives me outdoors is the camaraderie you get with similar people that love doing the things you do. Nothing beats a deer camp environment. Nothing beats telling stories around a fire and reflecting on a time where you're by yourself, because a lot of times when you hunt, it is a solitary game and you're by yourself and doing all these things. But when you get around people who do it as well, you get to share that experience. And, if you tell me a hunting story, I can feel like I'm right there with you because I understand what it takes to do that and go through that. So I think that's one of the biggest things is being able to share that with people, with friends and family and new friends and family. And, yeah.
It's kind of crazy because you're like the deer camp king, right? Because you're always in deer camp all the time, and you get to spend time. So that's a home for you.
Yeah.
And being with those guys, because you might not be going hunting, but you're still in deer camp.
Yeah, still
I'll
in deer
take that
camp.
any day of the week.
Yeah, getting to enjoy a lot of that. When I get to step away from the computer and things like that, but you're always in it. You always get to talk and meet new people, and man, it's just a blast. I absolutely love it.
You say step away from the computer. You probably spend a lot of time in front of the screen.
A lot of time. Editing takes way more time than filming, unfortunately. I wish it was the other way around, but yeah.
Oh. What do you think your favorite program is to use?
Premiere, Adobe Premiere, just because it's become the most natural because I have to use it the most.
Right.
I feel like I could edit videos in my sleep at this point for the most part. And it's very, very robust. You can do a lot on it. A lot of people that use it, especially when they're starting out, it feels like a very intimidating program, and it can be. If you don't have a knowledge base on what you need to do with it, it can feel daunting to try to run it. But once you get comfortable and you get comfortable messing with different settings and things like that, you can do a ton with it. You really can.
So So in podcasting, there's a couple of different editing programs, sound editing programs. Now they make songs and DJs and this, that, and the other thing, right? So I thought at first when we had started podcasting that I would need to do that. So I went and got this thing called Fruity Loops or whatever it was. Dude, I literally needed a 16-year college diploma to run that thing. Like, it was one of the hardest, scariest things I had ever tried to take over in my life. Honestly, it was the hardest thing ever. And once you get into it, though, with all of the things that you can do, it's actually pretty incredible.
Yeah.
It is probably pretty close to the Premiere.
Yeah, it's very similar. And the first time you open it, if you are, any of you guys trying to get into self-filming and stuff like that, and you want to create a channel and you get into the editing side of it, the first time you open up those programs, it's going to look like a foreign language. But there are a lot of really helpful YouTube videos and things where people can give you a crash course, and in, 2, 3, 4 hours, you can start editing a video on there. Is it going to be perfect? No. And you won't get perfect ever, but the closest you'll get will just be time. You got to put time behind the program.
I couldn't imagine the first time you opened one of those things. I couldn't even. We use iMovie is what I went to just to get things through because it's scary. It's an overbearing, daunting thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're getting photobombed at this point. We got Chris and Lydia here.
Yeah.
Reverse photobomb. We're photobombing Lydia.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that what it is?
Lydia can't go a whole segment without having her photo taken. She's going to hate that I said that because it's not true at all. But
that makes it even better.
Lydia, don't stand like that. That's no good. No. You have to smile. You're always hogging the limelight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Poor Lydia. Well, I guess we should get back to the monotony and the craziness of Huntstock.
A few more hours to put in here, and then we can start.
Hang out with some
trek home.
Hang out.
I gotta go start the grill.
You do? It's lunchtime. It's lunchtime. What's for lunch, dude?
Venison kielbasa. Jacob at Bow Mine has been killing me for it all week. So.
Oh, well, that's what we got to do. Well, Patrick, it's been an absolute pleasure. I don't think it's going to be the last time that they hear your voice here on the Outdoor Drive.
No, I hope not.
And hopefully we get to hang out here again next year.
Yeah, I hope so. This was awesome. Thank you guys for having us, and look forward to doing it again.
Well, it looks like a good time. And for everybody else, thanks for taking the ride right here on the Outdoor Drive. I should have let you do that.
It's all right.